Oh, baby. You know, I'm probably a lot older than a lot of you realize. I grew up on the GameCube and the Wii and the DS, the OG DS, the Game Boy SP. So not the original Nintendo stuff and the Sega, but not the new shit either, okay? I'm either the oldest Gen Z of all time or the youngest millennial of all time. I'm right on that cutoff. And gaming is very different now. And a lot of that's growing up, but a lot of it is the just capitalism and the industry being a for-profit. I only watched the first few minutes. I like this guy. Subscribe to his channel. He's a small creator, under 10K. I know it's not really small, but it's the type of video that I've been watching a lot recently. It's the kind of content that just falls under the general blanket, like commentary on the gaming industry and AAA gaming and games being broken on release and like Starfield was overhyped and all this and I find it really, really interesting, and I feel like I've had a lot of thoughts and opinions, and maybe I can get some of them out here by watching someone else talk about it, and then maybe eventually I do an actual video like the ones I'm going to be reacting to. Here it is. This account is my game opinions. Just glancing, I know that I'm going to like this guy's account, and I see, you can see the little progress bar. I've barely watched any of this. It's called Why Bother Playing Games on Release? A spicy topic, a very interesting one. And one that I am probably going to agree with him on a lot of things. I'll attempt to do ethical reacting, which means I'm not going to pull an XQC and just sit here and walk away and just like play the full video in its entirety. Holy shit. Wrong speaker system. God damn it. So embarrassing.
2015,
Little
Just
loud, sorry.
Cause 3 released. At the time, I don't think I even knew it existed, so I didn't play right away. I bought the game on June 1st, 2018.
I'm already going to hit him with a pause. Just Cause is a good series, but it's not a great series because of shitty broken releases, at least for the last few. I played Just Cause 3, enjoyed it, played Just Cause 4. Cool concept. Kind of shallow games. I know Just Cause 1 and 2 were a little bit more impactful anyway.
2.5 years after it came out, I bought the game and all of the DLC for $8. I managed to play the game for 80 hours, and I liberated every settlement and city in the game. The DLC were great, especially the Sky Fortress one, because it gave you the laser machine gun and the—
Okay, so the main point he's trying to make, though, which I totally agree with, is one, you get the discount. Not only did you not pay full price, but it typically will also include the DLC, which means more content, more polish, more everything. You're getting more for less if you wait and not get sucked in by the hype.
I also got to enjoy a bug-free and more stable version of the game. All of the bugs
Yeah,
that were—
that's another thing. Like, I already mentioned it, but that... If we walk away, we're only 1 minute in. There's 8.5 more minutes. This might be the strongest point for not playing games on release, pre-ordering, giving them all the money up front just for them to release a broken shitty game that doesn't work. They're gonna iron out the bugs. It might take a while. Look at what Cyberpunk has done. I was gonna say, like, fuck yeah, it's playable now. I don't know why we're patting companies on the back for like doing the bare minimum and like making games that work, but at the same time it proves the point that you give it time, let them iron out the kinks, and then it's a good experience. Cyberpunk was ruined for me to some extent because I went out, pre-ordered it at Best Buy, it wasn't going to ship in time, so they also pre-ordered it on Steam. I paid for Cyberpunk twice and then did not play more than 5 hours that opening couple days because it was so bad, and I didn't have a shit PC. I've got a better PC now, but I had a 2070 Super at the time. That's not a bad graphics card. That's probably better or right around the same as the current generation consoles. It's not bad, and I just couldn't fucking play the game, and it ruined it because I like kind of put in some time here and there over the course of like many months. And then now with the 2.0 update, I came back and like was just casually, oh no, I'm 20 hours in. Got to go watch some YouTube videos to figure out where I am in the story. And then I blitzed through it and it like just wasn't meaningful and impactful. If I had just waited, not played it at all back then, started my first playthrough a couple weeks ago, it would have been a very different story and the game would have been a lot more impactful for me as a gamer.
So yeah, this video was inspired by Starfield. I originally had a really long paragraph here where I talked about all of the quarrels I had with the game.
Geez, yeah, Starfield. I wasn't around for the great renaissance of Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Like, I was, but I was too young to actually dive into those games. They didn't really make sense to me. It was overwhelming. I couldn't really enjoy a good RPG and wasn't old enough to enjoy it until the era of Skyrim, Fallout 4, games like that. And when I tell you the amount of disappointment I have in Starfield, expecting a similar level of an experience to Skyrim, which I've been told isn't even as good as Oblivion, and like Fallout 4, which isn't even as good as 3 or New Vegas. Oh my god, just empty, boring. But again, you've heard this from other people. If you've watched anyone's serious review of Starfield, it is a letdown, and I could definitely rant about that if you guys want to hear it.
The game was boring as hell, and it was so poorly optimized. The game ran terribly on my PC, even though I met the recommended specs.
Oh, okay.
Big question from many. Why did you not optimize this game for PC?
Yeah, Todd.
We did.
Oh, okay, Todd, yeah, you're right. Oh.
We did, I swear. I mean, surely they did to some extent, but it is funny, dude. Bethesda games, it's like clockwork. You can expect the modding community to come out with overhaul mods that optimize the game better than the I don't know if they're $1 billion studio, multi-million-dollar Bethesda game studios ever could. They're like better textures that are somehow higher quality but also more optimized, and I'm pretty sure that already exists for Starfield. It's been like, I don't even think it's been a month at time of recording. I mean, I got a 4070 at this point, so I didn't have too many problems. Like, this TV behind me is a 4K, just like 4K 60 general smart TV, like basic Roku $200 on sale at Best Buy 4 years ago type TV, and I can get 4K 60 if I tweak the settings. So it's not that bad, but
The world was dull and empty, and I wasn't having fun,
Yep,
so I
retweet.
dropped the game. Luckily, I played on Game Pass, so I didn't pay for Starfield. If I paid full price, I would be devastated. Look at this. Why does it cost so much?
I think he's in New Zealand dollars. I pre-ordered Starfield for 70 because I was like, okay, I like Bethesda. Like, I know it's janky, I know it sucks, but at the same time, I get sucked into the world, and it's a lot of fun, a la Skyrim and Fallout 4. And then I think it was maybe Texas Chainsaw, where I was like, fuck it, I'm getting Game Pass just to try out this game and a couple other games like Halo Infinite Campaign. I've like played like 10 or so hours, and I'm getting close to being done. Some other stuff. And then it's like, oh, Starfield's gonna be on that too. But wait, I didn't pre-order it for 70. I pre-ordered the $100 version that comes with the DLC. And I like, oh my god, if I was still within the return window, obviously I'm not, I would have returned it. I got out $100. The DLC probably isn't gonna happen until 2024. Hopefully the game is more fleshed out by then. But oh my god, this clip right here could not sum it up better. Dude, 1,000 planets. Great,
The world was
brother.
dull and empty,
It's just
and
this.
I wasn't having fun, so I dropped the game.
It's
Luckily,
just running.
I played on Game
Now, when you get into these little fight areas, and I'm not sure why he's playing in third person, but when you're actually playing the game, it's okay. But my god, the amount of just like bland nothingness between the action and between the missions, between anything, is awful. I saw a TikTok recently, actually, that started off, it's like 40 to 45 seconds, that's the golden rule. And I'm like, okay, I'm hooked in, baby. What are we talking about? And he was looking at Witcher 3. He pulled up the mini map, the world map, not so mini, and he pointed out like a random camp, and then like a side quest marker, and then I don't know, like some small village. And he like drew a triangle. He's like, these are all 40 to 45 seconds from each other. And you have horses, so it can be smaller. And he's like, every game since then has generally taken that approach. 40 to 45 seconds max. You do not want people just walking around aimlessly. And then in Starfield, he's like, yeah, it's like 5 minutes. And I was like, there's no shot. And then I think back, I'm like, yeah, no, it literally takes 5 minutes. You can spawn anywhere. You can land anywhere. You can cutscene your ass down on your ship on the planet. And then you look around and it's like 620 meters, question mark symbol. 1,600 meters in the other direction, like an abandoned science lab symbol. And then like 400 meters in front of you is like an anomaly to go find an artifact or another power. Even 400 meters is just brutal. It takes minutes upon minutes, and like you can scan some rocks and plants on the way. Tangent aside, Starfield's meh.
I could play in a couple of years after
Yeah.
they fixed everything, and I would have a better experience.
Yeah.
So why
Yep.
do we bother playing games on release? I
Hey,
think that the
Celeste.
biggest and most obvious reason is hype. Of course you want to play straight away, you've been waiting for years already. Why would you want to wait
Yeah.
any longer? The point of the marketing is to give you a little itty-bitty whittle taste of the game's
Itty-bitty
world,
whittle
mechanics,
taste
and
for a
overall
little
feel,
brain.
which in turn make you want to buy the game. But truly, you haven't
Yeah.
seen any real footage. You've only seen tiny hand-picked segments that they want to show you.
There's no shot. This is
So,
Starfield.
of course, everybody wants to play it on release. But then the real game
Bro, I didn't know they did a live action trailer. Or just really high tier CGI. Oh my god. Making it seem like the weather is impactful. Bro, the Voss robot's looking sick. That dude's worthless. That dude's worthless. You can't even bring him as a companion after the first time you're forced to do it on your first mission. After that, it's like he can be a ship aid. I don't even think after that he can be a companion. I couldn't figure it out. I was with Sarah or Sam Coe, and even Sam Coe. Oh my god. I'm trying not to rant too much about Starfield, but guys, why is every single companion the same person with perfect moral high ground and gets pissed at you for doing anything? Dude, it's not a role-playing game if they fucking get mad at you the second you steal one item. I've been told in New Vegas you can kill every single freaking person in the entire universe of that game except they made like one robot invincible just so you could finish the game. How are we at this point? They just force you to play as a good guy who wants to save the universe, and oh my god. Alright. Whew.
Another reason for playing on release is that you get this sense of community from playing with everybody at the same time.
I still haven't played Elden Ring. I still haven't played Elden Ring, and I'm afraid because I want to. Because back to Starfield, baby. I'm gonna be honest. I think I finally figured it out. Why I like Skyrim so much, because I've really started to think like, you know, Starfield is like Skyrim in space or Fallout in space, probably more like Fallout just due to the first person shooter aspect instead of swords, right? And I think back to my time with like even Fallout 4, and like I did not enjoy that game that much. Generally, I thought it was a fun game, but would I put it in my, you know, there was a Twitter thing where people were like doing their top 20 games. It's not my top 20 games. Are you kidding me? It's probably not even in my top 50. It was a good game, but I'm not like infatuated by the Fallout game series, and I am infatuated with Skyrim. I put Skyrim probably in my top 5, maybe. You know, it's definitely in the running, and I think it's just the atmosphere. I think it's the medieval fantasy. I think it's the fact that I can just swing a mace with one hand and throw a fireball with my other hand, or dual cast magic, or do the dragon shouts, sword off people off the edge. Like, that's just cool. And Elden Ring is like similar, kind of, maybe, but it's also a Souls-like. And any of you guys know this about me? I was a creator for Rocket League for 3 years, I chose to create content about Rocket League for 3 years before I made this account. In hindsight, wouldn't have made a second set of accounts, but it is what it is. It happened, okay? If you go find my other account, it's linked in my bio, or my link in bio technically has them on there, or if you go to my about section, I have my Rocket League account, and you probably noticed a lot of bitching and moaning, and I was okay at Rocket League. I mean, I can't imagine how frustrated I would be with a Souls-like, but everyone says it's worth it, and it's rewarding. Hundreds of hours, and you're just scratching the surface, and I'm like, I'm so like drawn in by the idea of playing Elden Ring, and I'm nervous if I actually do it. I'm gonna fucking want to kill myself. It's not that dramatic. I think I'll hit it eventually, but man, not yet. Not yet.
When Neon White released, the leaderboards were fresh and empty. Nobody had figured out the meta or how to break each level. As a community,
this game looks
everyone
cool, too.
found out the best ways to speedrun. When
Is it a
Elden Ring
roguelike?
released, millions
If it
of
is, I'll
players
dive
were
in.
dumped into the lands between. This massive, sprawling world that
Dude, he's even using Skyrim music in the background. That's how you know. Oh my god. Like, we gotta go back. We gotta do it. We gotta go back a little bit.
millions of players were dumped into the lands between. This massive, sprawling world that everyone got to discover.
It's
at the
giving me
same
goosebumps.
time. It was fun.
I'm telling
looking
you.
online.
I have seen actually probably 10 hours worth of clips of people fighting Margaret the Fell Omen. And it looks awful. Isn't this like one of the first bosses you hit? It's like right in the starting area, and everyone just gets shafted, and then they come back and beat his ass.
The know. They want to stay in touch with pop
People
culture
do want to stay in
and
the know.
also avoid spoilers, meaning they have to play every new AAA release that comes out, or else they would be lame.
I don't know if he's gonna hit this, but it goes right along with this thought process, or the topic. Like, FOMO is powerful. I don't like to talk about it because I'm not exactly showing off my expertise, but I went to Cornell, the Ivy League, on the wrestling team. I got the wrestling hat. My degree is up there on the wall, a little bit out of frame. Okay, you can see a degree though, right? Undergraduate business degree with the concentration of marketing, but more of the analytical side of marketing. That's why I suck at content marketing, because I'm more like, yo, market research, consumer behavior, spreadsheets, baby, show me the numbers. But yeah, FOMO was something they drove home. It's fucking strong. It's just a strong psychological, like, emotional response to things. And nowadays, like a huge thing, and I hope he touches on this. I don't want to like steal his thunder. Like there's too many games. It's unreasonable. Like when I was a kid, I played the shit out of whatever the Call of Duty came out that year. And then there were like maybe an Assassin's Creed game, something like Skyrim or Fallout came out every once in a while. I wasn't into the sports games. Like obviously there are other games, but as a gamer, my universe of gaming was like at any given time, it was like 2, maybe 3 games. And one of them was like the Daily Driver. And then one of them was like Battlefield. Okay. So like I split time with Battlefield and Call of Duty with my friends. And then it was like, oh, but there's also COD Zombies. And then like a little bit of Skyrim during the summer because I can just play games all day. Now it's like every other week there's a AAA game coming out. And if you're not playing it, then you have FOMO and you're out of the loop. I just feel like that's exhausting. It's like a rat race at this point, just to speed through and grind through all these single player games and multiplayer games and just go. You know what I mean? That was cringe. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm sweating in the sweatshirt. Who would have not? Who would have thunk, dude? I live in Florida. It's fucking hot in here. I've got the AC on. It doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, I gotta imagine the FOMO and just like the pressure to play games and all the games and every single one. Like dude, right now I'm like watching people's like early first looks and reviews on Spider-Man 2. I don't have a PlayStation. I'm like checking Best Buy. Like, dude, can I get a PlayStation tomorrow to play Spider-Man 2, dude? No, relax. Wait. It'll come to PC eventually, or just wait for the new PlayStation Slim thing that's coming out this holiday in theory, or maybe there's a PS5 Pro. That would be cool. Why you don't gotta freak out with the FOMO. It's not like I have time to blitz through the game anyway. I can wait. I already did it with Starfield, and it backfired. And now Spider-Man 2 is gonna be Spider-Man 2 is a better game than Starfield. Let's be fucking honest.
One topic that I haven't talked about yet is multiplayer games. Obviously, playing these on release is the
what are you
best
doing?
time to
Stop,
do it. It's
stop
when the
crashing into
population of the
buildings.
game is probably the highest, and it's when the community is
Dude,
most
Overwatch
active.
2, bro.
There is a
Overwatch
feeling that
1.5?
if you start playing later, you'll be behind, that everyone will have figured out the meta and be leagues above your skill level. With all these thoughts of Starfield in my head, I was reminded of a similar experience I had 3 years prior.
Cyberpunk, baby. Beautiful. Well done. Nice.
Now, 3 years later, the game is in a much more playable state than before.
Oh yeah, it's great
and
now.
they're
It's
about
fine.
to release update
It's basically
2.0
perfect.
and the DLC.
Also, like, yeah, I could have not pre-ordered the fucking Starfield Special Edition and just bought Phantom Liberty. Like, I definitely need to buy that and play it because I've heard it's amazing. But FOMO got me, man. It got me. It didn't get me. It got my wallet, dude. And okay, wait a minute. One more thing about that. I can only imagine how bad it is for a younger audience that doesn't have income. Like, just straight up, like, you got to ask your parents, or maybe you get allowance if you're lucky, or, you know, they'll get you a couple things for Christmas. Like, oh my God. The game's like coming out. It's like one of the 3 games you get to buy that year, or your parents will buy you, and it's just broken. Holy shit. That would be so frustrating.
I should have bought the game in 2023 for 50% off. Cyberpunk 2077 is one of many examples of games that are better to play after release. Especially now.
Yeah, man, you really hit those shots right there.
Examples of games that are better to play after release.
Sorry.
Especially
man.
nowadays, games seem to release in a terrible state. It could be because of rough deadlines, or maybe the higher-ups at the company don't really care about releasing a polished product. In any case, every AAA game
no, why do we have to okay, I'm gonna listen to his argument one more time.
Games seem to release in a terrible state. It could be because of rough deadlines, or maybe the higher-ups at the company don't really care about releasing a polished product.
Okay, so I had an aggressive reaction. I mean, it's both of those, but it's both of those are because of the overarching thing that at the end of the day, a business needs to make profit, and they make profit when people purchase their product or service. And when people purchase their product or service, regardless of the quality, then yeah, why would they take the time and effort to make it polished when they're going to get the money anyway? So stop pre-ordering games. It's that easy. Stop doing it. I did it last month with Starfield and it bit me in the ass. Oh my God. If we didn't pre-order, if the company didn't make $50 million before the game even came out, it would be a very different story. And yeah, there's always going to be something they didn't catch, and thankfully they can patch it in the future. But brother, man, if we didn't all rush out and give Call of Duty $100 for the top version that includes the battle pass and a season pass every fucking year, they wouldn't continue to release the same game slightly different and slightly worse every year indefinitely. I played the MW3 beta this past weekend. It was genuinely fun. It's okay. A lot of nostalgia for me, and that's another crazy powerful marketing thing. I've been making really bad eye contact with the camera. I apologize. I'm like looking at my screen, but you all are up there. Yeah. FOMO's one, and then nostalgia's another. So like, oh my god, I can play on Favela and Rust, dude, and Skid Row, one of the most overrated maps of all time. But I can play on those maps, dude. It's generally fun. Generally, but do I think it's like worth another $70 or $100 if you pre-order the top version? No. Just play Warzone for free with your buddies every once in a while and call it a day. God, stop pre-ordering.
In any case, every AAA game I can think of in recent years has launched with a variety of massive bugs,
Tell us what that game
and
is.
people complaining about crashes. It's just par for the course with any game release.
Although it is way worse on PC. Hey, console master race is getting pretty close. I'm gonna be honest here, man. For $500, you can get the equivalent of like a $900 gaming PC. But, well, you know, if we're talking MSRP pricing, which obviously you can get stuff used and build your own PC and stuff like that. But, dude, imagine like the next round of consoles in like 27, 28, 29. Obviously, it's still going to be like worse than the best PC stuff, but the best PC stuff costs, you know, it's a $3,000 to $4,000 build. So I don't know, man. If you can spend $500 and get 4K 60, not bad. Or 1080 120.
Expected. But most of these issues will be
We'll
fixed
see. It's not there yet.
retroactively by the developers. If you
Not
play
fully.
after all of these patches come out, you don't have to worry at all about the game breaking. There may have been other updates too that add more content to the game. New weapons, bosses, places to go. There may have been some updates with quality of life features. Small things
The rubber
such as
banding
make the
and
game more playable
get
and an
Skyrim.
overall better experience. And of course,
Just
if there
can't
was
cross
any
the bridge.
DLC that came out, you can play that straight away. Instead
Yo,
of having
Dying
to come
Light!
back-
Bro, Dying Light is actually such a fantastic series. I know that a lot of ways Dying Light 2 is worse, but also in a lot of ways Dying Light 2 is way better. And I played through it pretty thoroughly recently, and ooh, that's a fun game. We're gonna start peppering all sorts of variety into it, at least the short form. I know maybe a little bit of actual gameplay, and obviously reacting right here is variety. But dude, so just a quick aside, as always, when I was a Rocket League creator, most of my success or whatever was in short form, like just dipshit, goofy ass TikTok audios and lining up like open net whiffs or save whiffs or like a flip reset glitching out on me or whatever. And you can't really do that with Crab Champions. It's a roguelike. I mean, it's not like I'm hitting cool headshots on like on the ants, on the pufferfish. Like, it's very different. But I can do that with other games.
You can play the main game and the DLC back to back. One reason that a lot of people play older games is that they don't have a machine which can run the latest games. And then the biggest reason for playing a game a while
Before he goes on to this last reason, that last one's pretty weak. I don't know. You don't have to enjoy every game in perfect high fidelity and blah blah blah. You can just run it. You'll have fun with it. Obviously, having a super smooth experience and everything is generally better, but you know, whatever.
after its release is that it'll be way cheaper. AAA games usually go on sale just a few months after they
Kind
come
of already
out.
said this,
After
but
6 months
nice.
or a year, they could be 50% off.
Unless it's Nintendo. In that case, it'll still be full price. Years later, go onto the Nintendo shop on your Switch. Go try to buy Breath of the Wild. Tell me how much it is.
One example that comes to mind is Shadow of the Tomb Raider from 2018. Just 1 month after release, it was discounted by 34%. Obviously, all of the
Goddamn.
people who pre-ordered the game, myself included, were not super happy. But let this be a lesson to you all. You don't need to
Don't
buy
pre-order.
games at full price. They will always go on sale eventually.
I am pretty sure I have Shadow of the Tomb Raider for free. I gotta check my Epic Games library. They give out like free games every month on PC at least, and I'm pretty damn sure I have it. Ghostwire Tokyo for free. I'm pretty sure GTA 5 for free. Hitman for free. Just Cause 4 for free. Killing Floor 2. I already had it on Steam, but got it for free here. Knockout City was free. Lawn Mowing Simulator free. Most of these are free. Like most of these. Maneater for free. Payday 2 for free. Rage 2 straight up for free, which is a sick game. Kind of like bad, but also so much fun, and I need to play more of it. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider for free. Saints Row the Third for free. Oh no, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, there it is, for free.
But I did play some of these games as soon as they came out. A few of them were disappointing, and it did make me wish that I played them later. Games typically don't get worse over time. You don't have to play something straight away. There are games which are
Very
10,
true.
20, or 30 years old and still fun. So maybe think twice before picking up Starfield.
Yeah.
It'll still be there in a few years if you want to try it later.
Honestly, I love that this was, I know I took like my good sweet time, but I love that this was just like short, sweet, to the point, 9-minute video. Bravo to this guy. I agree with his general points for sure. And like, gonna be honest, a lot of my feelings towards a game when I look back on them, like price is definitely factored in there. There's no two ways around that. You gotta think about, did you buy the game for a lot of money? And when you paid for it, did you enjoy it? And there are so many games that I've gone back and played years later, or it's like you get Game Pass or something like that, some sort of subscription system where you can blaze through a bunch of games, like you get a nice summer vacation in between school or whatever, and you can just go slam through like 3 or 4 games that came out within the last 3 or 4 years, get them for like $10 each, or pay for the subscription for 3 or 4 months. Like, those always felt good, because even if it's not perfect, it's like, it's about $10. So yeah, good points all around. I'm done rambling. If you guys enjoyed this, like it, subscribe to the channel. I might do more if you enjoyed the React in general. I have a lot of opinions, and I will happily share them with you guys if you want. And if you have something for me to react to, don't be afraid to send it, baby. Discord, I have a server. I know, crazy, another Discord to join. But if you are interested, there's a React channel. You can link your video, and maybe I'll react to it next. All right, take care.